Welcome to our video lesson of finding the percent of a number. In this video we're going to go through three questions. Questions like what's 12% of 40? And sales prices. So if a jacket originally cost $48 and is on sale for 25% off, what is the sale price of the jacket? Let's get started. So what is 30% of 6? There's a few ways to approach this problem. One of them is using equivalent fractions. So we know that 30% is equal to 30 over 100. And if I want to know what 30% of 6 is, the question is, what would this number here be? What out of 6 is equivalent to 30 out of 100? And there's a few different ways you can solve this problem. Maybe some of you have heard of cross multiplication before. The fact that if you multiply these two together, they have to be equal to these two. So you could multiply 6 times 30 and then divide by 100. And that would give us 1.8, which means that 1.8 of 6 is equal to 30%. So it'll be 1.8 out of 6. Another option is thinking about it in terms of equivalent fractions. I'm going to write this out again. 30 out of 100 is equal to something over 6. Well, how do I get from 100 to 6? What operation do I have to do? So I'm going to divide 100 by 6. And that gives me 16.6 repeated. Well, if I do the same thing up here and I divide 30 by 16.6 repeated, I would get my answer of 1.8. Another option is of really means multiplication. So if we see what's 30% of 6, you could also think of this as well, first we'd have to write 30% as a fraction or a decimal. I'm going to choose to write it as a decimal because I think it's a little bit easier. If I have 0.30, that's my percentage written as a decimal, times 6. And you can type this into your calculator, but if we do 0.3 times 6, it's going to give me 1.8. And that is my answer, 1.8. So there's three different ways you can approach this problem. Let's do it again. What's 12% of 40? Okay, so I'm going to start with 12 out of 100, and that's equal to something out of 40, and I have to figure out what out of 40. So you could do your cross multiplication, where you do 12 times 40 divided by 100. And that would give me 4.8 as my answer. That's one way you can do it. The other way is you could think of it in terms of equivalent. If I have 12 out of 100, how do I get from 100 to 40? Well, I would divide by whatever 100 divided by 40 is. Just 2.5. So if I divide 12 by 2.5, I should get whatever my answer is. So I'm going to get 12 divided by 2.5, and it gives me 4.8. Now my other option is using multiplication. I like doing it as a decimal, so 0.12 times 40. And that would give me 4.8. So again, those are the three options. You can choose whichever one you like and do it that way. Let's look at this question. This comes up a lot. There are a lot of sales for a certain percentage off of original price. So it says a jacket originally cost $48 and it is on sale for 25% off. What is the sale price of the jacket? So the first thing we need to do is figure out what 25%, I don't know what happened there. What's 25% of 48? So you can choose any of the methods you like to do that. I think one of the faster methods is to convert it into a decimal. So I'm going to multiply 0.25 times 28, or find a quarter of 48, sorry. And that's going to give me 12. So that means that 25% of 48 is 12, which makes sense because 12 is a quarter of 48. So it's 25% off, which means the price would be the difference, and it gets rid of that $12. So the final price would be whatever 48 minus our 12 is. And 8 minus 2 is 6, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So that means the sale price of the jacket is $36. That's all for our video lesson today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm here to help you. That's all for now. I'll talk to you later.